Alright, who's recapping last time?
Oh, where did we start last time? I never remember.
Who,
We
who
like
remember?
after the long rest and then the frost method stuff.
Right, so we were on our way about to head into the Greenwater Wood. Um, and having recently leveled up, wanting to show things off, uh, we proceeded to have a little training yard fight. Alsana summoned up some frost methods. Called in, Kane had a bit of fun. Afterwards, we continued down. Alsana was happy to be in the Greenwater Wood and kind of took lead on directions. And we quickly came across a house. A weird look. Well, it appeared to be a house. Um, we kind of took a look around it and gave this weird feeling to it. And Alsana figured that anything weird about it, she should probably refer to the people they were heading towards first, and they could probably let us know. But then we saw the window move, and then we and then Alsana went, I'm gonna commune with nature real quick. And she asked about any buildings in the area, and there weren't any.
Iconic.
Also, there was influence from the ethereal plane, apparently. Um, no powerful undead or fiends or anything like or aberrations or anything like that, though. So we decided that we should probably check it. And hell, who knows if it's gonna be here when we come back. So we make our way into the monster house. We kind of come in the front door and are looking around, checking things, and are very, very unsure about everything going on.
Did we meet a ghost?
Yes, and we came across a lady whose name I'm trying to remember, and I think I wrote it somewhere.
Oh, it's in the thing. It's Tenelia Farden?
Yeah.
How do you spell that real quick?
It's in the sheets. It'll show a bunch of Greenwater Wood creatures.
Okay. There we go. Yep, Tenelia. And she kind of gave us the lowdown, and that this thing is alive, and that it kind of traps the spirits of everything it kills in there. Or at least it did until Sana cast spell magic on it a few minutes before. Um, but regardless, it's still a menace to everything, and all the spirits there are currently trapped. And so our mission statement is to kill the house, but we're also informed that uh, should we kill it before kind of putting any of the the roaming undead that have been driven to madness in this place, um, with our friendly ghost being the single exception, apparently. Um, Not 100% on trust with her, but hey, apparently enough that Alsana decided to take her aboard and was basically pseudo possessed. Tonelli is basically kind of riding backseat in Alsana right now. And we went to go deal with the less reasonable spirits and undead floating the area. Made our way. Was it upstairs? I think it was
Yeah.
upstairs.
Yep, upstairs.
Found some ghosts that were coming through the walls rather annoyingly, and once we dealt with those, the furniture came alive and tried to eat us. Apparently, these are spawn of the house itself, so we're in a mimic house. Jolly good. And as if to flex its mimic housery, the floor below us opened up into like a mouth, or just some sort of trap trying to crush us and make us miserable and painful and everything. Um, and we were kind of left hanging like on the side of the hallway. Elvana's just like on a broom. Kane and Calder kind of dashed into the room to the north, and that's where we are right now.
Yep. So, with that, you guys just barely dodged to the sides and managed to cling to the last solid bits of floorboard against these walls as a 20-foot long strip of hallway just suddenly crashed open. Looking down into it, you see darkness, but then this faint, dim red light filtering out of nowhere. It just barely outlines what seems to be spikes at the bottom of a drop that looks like it's longer than the one story that you went up. To the side, you hear creaking wood, and you see the stairs rise up with a series of creaks and thuds as this area here is now just floor. There is no going downstairs now. Nobody really has a good view aside from Alsana, who can kind of see through this open door. No, wait, Calda's in front of the other open door. Calda and Alsana, both of you see the windows in these side rooms creak and vanish into the wood, almost swallowed by it in this very strange, amorphous shifting of what looks like solid and immutable material. You feel a almost oppressive sense fill the air around you. The sense of something that is going to attack. We're going to keep initiative as this followed directly from the last combat. We're waiting for Conrad to get back, and John is not here, so their sheets are offloaded currently. So, with that, Calda, you are first up.
Just sort of looking at the party, but because of players right now looking at Asana, up or down? We're staying up here, are we? Taking a plunge.
Do you think those were all the spirits? And she'll think in her head, to Nelia. It's like, were that all the restless ones, or are there more?
That's all that I can recall.
Alright. How about we give this place what for?
Oh. Alright, Calda's gonna hold, Calda and Alaris will both hold their actions to probably jump down if Alsana's gonna fill the bottom with water. Is that what's happening?
Well, we'll see.
I need when Alsana casts a fucking spell. That's gonna trigger the reaction.
All right. Okay, so that's the two of them. Kane, are you telling him to? What are you guys telling him to do? He's looking around like,
Maybe everyone
I
stand
don't know
back
what
a
to
bit.
do. Do I just hit the
Stand back.
house?
Stand back. We're holding on to the edge. Do you want us to climb back up?
You know what?
Yeah.
Give a swing at the floorboard. See what happens.
Okay. What weapon did he have equipped last time? Does
Get the
anybody
great
remember?
sword. Or the
Just,
Sword of Thorn.
I'll scroll up to check.
Sword of Thorns. Two-handed?
Sword of Thorns, one-handed, and the lantern shield on the other hand.
Okay, yes, because he has the lantern. So Sword of Thorns, one-handed, and let's see, he's going to make 2 attacks with that. 25. He scores a deep cut into. Let's say he's kind of awkwardly flailing at the floorboards next to his feet, not directly under them. Easier than trying to attack the wall. And the sword actually cuts through the wood in a manner that seems a little bit more reminiscent of cutting through very tough hide. And the house kind of shudders slightly. Goes makes another attack, and
It can
the
feel
same
good.
attack as it takes 6 and 7 for 13 points of damage. And you hear a deep groan run through the wood. and the tension increases in the air.
Slam that sphere into the goddamn wall, Lansana.
Oh, I have a better idea.
Oh, great.
She gestures for the flaming sphere to come towards her.
Okay. Zoops over Calda's head through the open doorway. It hovers right next to you.
She's going to go into her pack and pull out 2 sticks of dynamite.
Oh, fuck yes.
Oh boy, okay.
Where did you get those?
Boom blast day. Feels in the spirit, and she holds it out towards the flaming sphere, lights them, and drops them.
Alright.
And then sends the flaming sphere into the nearest wall.
Okay, go ahead and give me the roll for the sphere. Damage and all that.
2.
The little repeat. Alright, 8 fire damage. And the house cannot make a dexterity saving throw, it just has to take that. It doesn't seem to do any extra damage the way you might expect against actual wood, but it does take the full 8. It doesn't resist it.
She'll drop one harvest scythe on that, for fun.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Give me the d10.
Another 4.
Another 4. So total 12 damage from that. Now, the dynamite. You lit the fuses. What exactly did I give you for damage or anything else? Timing?
You didn't.
God damn. I said it was in the book.
Yep.
I did.
You gave me 3 rounds of long fuse on them that I could use.
Yes, so, did you?
She would have pressed them as far into it as she could, basically to get it pretty close to where the stick is.
Alright,
Light it
in that case,
shorter down.
in that case, I'm going to say that it's gonna be, let's see, each stick is 3d6 bludgeoning damage, and its dexterity saving throw that this cannot avoid.
So with both sticks, that's...
Yep.
66?
Yep.
Shall I roll?
Because you did not bundle them together so that they explode. That's a really weird thing, actually.
Hmm?
Character can bind sticks of dynamite together so they explode at the same time. Each additional stick increases the damage by 1d6 to a maximum of 10d6. Burst radius. Okay, so that was an action to light and drop. And usually it's 1 stick that you can do at a time unless you bind them together for a slightly, somewhat less, fewer d6 damage.
Okay, then she'll
for
just do
a
one
time.
at a time then.
Okay. Thought I better check that looking at those rules. So 1 stick of dynamite goes down, 3d6. It cannot avoid this. It just plain takes 8 points of damage deep inside that pit. And you feel another shudder and hear another groan.
Don't think it's happy with us, but I'm having fun.
Oh, this is great.
All right.
She will take just 1 step back.
Okay, get into the other room. With that, you see the gaping hole in the floor knit itself back up into floorboards. Alsana, you aren't really sure where your flaming sphere is right now.
Oh, she did the flaming sphere into the nearby wall.
Okay, good. All right. So
She just
you
used
know
it as a
where
light
it
and
is.
then sent it basically to the wall
Yeah.
to the left of the door.
All right, you know
I'll
where
move
it is.
over there for the hell of it.
Okay, Calda, Kane and Alaris all are able to kind of let themselves off the wall slightly and set their feet forward a little bit. However, at that point, there is this odd ripple that runs through the wood of the walls. Almost like something just under the surface of some water, cutting a little bit of a wake. And one heads straight towards Kane, and all of a sudden, the wall seems to warp and then burst forward and strike him with a enormous pseudopod 22, I'm pretty sure will hit Kane. Yep,
Yeah.
for 9 bludgeoning damage, and I'm gonna keep track of his health in this little circle as I'm used to doing. So,
As a small aside, could Elsana have gotten on the broom as well, because she was kind of hanging from it before?
yeah,
Okay.
I'll let you do that as part of your movement. So you are not actually touching the ground or the walls or anything, but you are kind of hovering in the middle of this space. And so with that,
The
you
house in
see.
capitals.
Oh yeah. You, Alsana, see on the inside of this wall that you are hovering fairly close to, just over the collapsed, shattered pieces of what was once a smaller mimic, a similar ripple, and a similar warping, and then another burst as this attacks once more, but against you. 24 to hit,
24
8
hits.
bludgeoning damage.
That's a con save for concentration on Lightning Sphere. Damn it.
The sphere is gone. You hear the
Man, that
house
could've-
groan and shift again,
could've
but it
been a
does nothing
different
more.
spell, but we're fine. We're fine.
Calda, it's your turn.
Alrighty. Give this place some more fire. Just gonna take a couple swipes at the wall beside her.
Okay.
Alright, we got Uno. And we got Dos.
All right, 17 and 22, both strikes sink into the wood and tear through the door frame. 10, 12, 25, 26 total points of damage as you start just tearing chunks out of this. And it's odd. It looks like you're cutting through and tearing out pieces of wood, but somehow as they kind of clatter across the ground, they kind of seem to sag, ooze as they land.
This is fun reverse carpentry then.
All right,
Alrighty.
anything else?
That's it for Calda. She's going to stay in the doorway for... No, wait. She's going to move up into the hallway so everyone can get the aura.
We'll move
And
the sphere to the
that's
side
it
for
for
now,
her.
because I'll probably cast it again.
Mm-hmm. In that case, what is Alaris gonna do?
He's... let's see. Okay, he's probably going to take a shot.
Shoot the house, shoot the house.
Yep. At this wall, just like right on the wall. Let's do...
All
he has
right.
2 attacks.
There is an odd thing about this house being in it and also shooting a ranged attack. Technically,
Okay.
he is in melee
Crossbow
of
expert.
this entire house.
Crossbow expert.
Okay, good. Good. I was a little worried about that, but good.
Yep. So there's 1 attack, 17 to hit, 7
That'll
piercing
hit.
damage.
7 piercing damage as the bolt sinks into the seeming wood of the opposite wall.
Alright. Do I want to do it? Do I want to do it?
Do what you want.
Nah, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, 1 more hit.
All right, 24 to hit, 12 piercing damage as this one lands and sinks in almost up to the guide feathers at the end of the shaft.
Alright, and he's moved. Bonus action doesn't have much. And I think that is going to be all for Alaris.
All right. Kane's turn. He is currently grappled by the pseudopod, but that's not going to stop him from attacking. So, we're going to go ahead and have him do a couple more attacks with the Sword of Thorns unless somebody wants to direct him otherwise.
I think Sword of Thorns is good.
All good then. In that case, here's
actually-
one.
Sorry, okay,
Oh.
never mind, sorry.
I'm
Go ahead, you clicked it.
Okay, that misses anyway. As Alsana starts to call out and Kane half turns, what? And just the sword chunk glances off the wood, leaves maybe a little nick, but it's nothing that really matters. And he's gonna go ahead and use his second attack. 16 will hit for 12 slashing damage as he recovers from his surprise, turns around, and slices the sword across the doorframe about where Calda had been attacking it as well, but from another side. And carves out another small chunk that just kind of flies through the air and then kind of plap against the wall, slides down, leaving a trail of ooze behind. Kane is going to hold position unless you guys want to call him somewhere else.
Maybe. Oh no, is he currently grappled by the pseudopod though?
Oh, he is. That's right. He can't move. Yep.
Okay.
Alsana, in that case, you are currently grappled by the pseudopod, but you are on your broom at the same time, so you're kind of up off the ground, but you can't go anywhere.
Ooh. How about we start a house party?
Ooh.
Fairy fire? Okay,
Can't
okay.
make dex saves.
Yeah, that is such a bizarre thing. Okay,
The whole fucking house light up.
the whole house lights up. So,
What color?
oddly,
Purple.
alright, purple light just spreads across the walls, the floors, the
It's like
ceiling.
a goth rave.
That's one way to put it. Okay. It's a little bit. It's almost a little disorienting because, given that literally everything is a target, you probably didn't need that much more help. But this fairy fire does have a way of kind of. It seems to concentrate itself in certain areas just a little bit more than others. Maybe guiding your strikes to places where perhaps its natural armor is going to be a little bit more susceptible. You do have advantage on your attacks against this house.
Okay,
Anything else for Alsana?
that was her
That's her action.
Bonus action, she's going to... Nope, she already cast a spell. Yep, that'll be your turn.
Okay. With that, the house, newly fairy fired and getting a little bit worried and frustrated, perhaps, is going to do 2 more pseudopod attacks, and the obvious targets are going to be those that are currently grappled by pseudopods, because it gets advantage on those.
Oh boy.
So, the first one is against Kane. That is 24 to hit and 12 bludgeoning damage. Got that there. The second one against Alsana, 26 to hit and 9 bludgeoning damage.
Yep, alright. Oh, come on!
Plus 4. Plus 4.
Oh, I'm in your
yes.
range.
You're in 10 feet.
Calda did
You
do
get
that deliberately. So, you do succeed.
Okay.
Fairy fire is still up. Calda, there's this nice,
Oh, I forgot the
inviting,
flash.
bright patch right in front of you. Would you like to attack, or would you like to do something else?
Let's do some 2 attacks.
Take advantage.
We got 1. Ooh.
All right, 17
Okay.
will hit. 15 plus 3 for 18 total damage. Well done. Okay.
And we have 2.
18 will hit as well. And that is another 15 damage.
Yep, she's going to remain position.
Okay.
And that is it for her.
All right. You carve another 2 large chunks out of the doorframe. You can kind of see the house shuddering and groaning and kind of trying to fill the gaps in, but it's getting a little bit slower as it does so. You can see the walls almost starting to thin in places as it tries to push more and more material. You kind of get the sense of rooms getting almost imperceptibly smaller in a way as it
Okay.
tries to repair itself, but not to much avail. Elaris,
Is the house a creature?
technically.
Okay, we are going to. Alaris is going to use his bonus action and cast Hex.
All right.
And disadvantage on strength checks.
Okay.
And we're going to try big money, no whammies.
All right.
So first one's gonna be a sharpshooter shot.
Do it.
Oof.
The bolt just kind of fires
Ooh.
badly out of the crossbow, and something goes wrong with it in midair as the flight path is set off, and it just kind of clatters against the side wall without doing any damage.
Okay, we're gonna go back to the old
I'd
and
say,
true. Let's just do normal.
Okay.
I. Mm-mm.
All right, but a 19 hits, 15 piercing plus 4 necrotic all apply here, so that's 19 total damage on that shot.
Alrighty, and he's gonna remain position. Bonus action good. I'm actually going to write that he's concentrating. And we're good.
Yep, the second shot pierces one of those glowing bright purple spots, and beneath that purple fire that kind of dissipates very slightly with the force of the bolt, you start to see this web of black, almost like rot, seeping into the wood.
Ew. Nice.
Yeah, necrotic damage. Kane, any preferences for actions from the party?
Can he... I don't want him stuck in that grapple.
He could try and break it. The house is disadvantage if it's a strength check.
Yeah, no, I'd say that'd be the time to try to break the grapple. Now it's next.
Alright. You call out for him to break himself free. He will use his action for a contested athletics check, house having disadvantage. Kane
How
rolls
strong
a
is a
12.
house?
The house
Probably pretty strong.
rolls
Aw,
just
that's a
enough.
saving
Oh.
throw. Is that different?
It's the
No
same.
proficiency.
It's the same thing. I'm sorry. Yeah, I clicked saving throws, but it is the same number.
Yep, no problem. Just making sure.
Yep. Good call, though. Alright, you should call out for Kane to break out. We've got this. And he goes, alright, and tries to yank himself away, but maybe just slightly underestimates the force of the adhesive. And you see him pull back and, almost like a ball attached to a rubber string. For a moment, it's stretched out and then thunk, straight back again. He hits the wall slightly, but is fine otherwise. It didn't work!
Thanks. Couldn't tell.
There's no reason to be like that. As it is your turn now,
Too
Alzana.
real. Let's see. Yeah, she's gonna try to break the grapple as well.
Go for it.
She doesn't have great in athletics, but she can do acrobatics, can't she?
I cannot recall.
If you're
I
trying to
think
break
it's
out, I think it's athletics or acrobatics. She's the person holding on. Is the athletics.
Yeah. Probably. That sounds about right. It doesn't say it's outright contested strength, it's just grappled.
Yeah. Yeah. So if it's
Yeah.
grappled, break the acrobatics.
Your DC is 7. So, Alsana, you kind of learn from what Kane just did, and instead of trying to force your way free, you kind of apply a certain twist, a torque to the movement, and you feel the adhesive property just kind of turn against itself, and you get yourself free and can move as you will. That was your action, but you have a bonus action.
She's gonna go ahead and either way, she'll do a second level healing word on herself.
Okay.
12 hit points.
Nice.
Right. Well, with that,
She'll just float slightly away from the wall.
okay. Kind of keeping to the center of the room, above the floor, below the ceiling. Just out of reach of things, as the pseudopods are large, but they don't seem to be able to extend much further than 5 feet.
Eh,
So with that, it is the house's turn, and it currently has one person caught in its pod and 2 attacks. Yeah, let's see.
Calder's right there. He'll be okay.
Calder's right there. However, it might want to maybe add to that. Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's gonna go for Kane.
Alright.
Sorry, Conrad's not here, but it's gonna go for Kane.
That has advantage, makes sense.
It makes sense. That'll hit. And yeah, both 24s will hit. 15
Oy.
and 14 for
That's 29 damage.
29 damage. He's still up.
Okay.
He is a big tough half orc fighter. He's got more health than that.
Yep.
Okay, I have a
Ouch.
suggestion first. I have a suggestion for first turn next round, but there's some. Yeah.
There's a Calder that goes first as the house starts just kind of pummeling Kane from two sides as he is adhered almost to the wall itself.
Alright, Calda is going to move into this doorway, stepping on top of the mimic that was probably, I think, the bed.
Yep.
Okay, I'm moving him anyway. She's going to give 2 more advantage attacks.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go 1. Oh my lord.
It
And
hits.
we're gonna go 2.
It hits. Alright, 13 and 13, 26 total damage as you tear into the other door frame.
Yep. And no bonus action. So... Okay, we're gonna keep that for now. It's going good. And now Ilaris is... Yeah, he's gonna move here.
Mhm.
And let's just keep doing sharpshooter, you know? So, let's try again. Okay. That's cute, 19 to hit.
Alright, 19 hits, 23 piercing damage. Well
Alrighty.
done. And roll the d6 for Hex.
Yep, and
As that is
let's
still on there.
go Hexen.
All
Done a
right,
5, so
28.
that's 28 total.
There we go.
Yep.
House is starting to look rough. You're seeing actual holes starting to open up on some of the outside walls as well as the inside now. The floor is getting kind of patchy. Yeah, this thing is not holding together well anymore. Second attack?
Yeah, let's do another sharpshooter for funsies. Hi.
Whee.
Oh, 2d6 for Hex.
And that is an extra 6, so that's another 28 damage.
All right, how do you want Alaris to do this?
I want to make a really shitty pun, and you're both gonna hate me for it.
Go for it. I love puns.
No, it's like terrible.
Does it have to do with free real estate?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
Dude, Lars is gonna look up. It's a pop culture reference because it's me. Lars is gonna look up at the ceiling and just go, "This house is not in the middle of our street," and just fucking shoot it.
Oh, come on.
There we go. It was terrible, but I feel like John would appreciate it.
It's a reference I did not get. So, as you have Alaris utter this.
Did you have that on the GM layer, or did you just fucking draw it?
I just drew it.
Okay.
As Alaris utters this phrase that doesn't really make much sense.
It's in Elvish. It's a weird cultural thing.
Yep, it's a weird cultural thing. Okay. And he fires this last bolt into a spot that's already been hit a number of times before, and you see the bolt sink into this, and ringed by purple fairy fire, you start to see that black necrotic energy start to tear its way through the wall. And with a last final drawn out groan, the adhesive pseudopod holding Kane in place suddenly seems to dissolve. Kane stumbles back away from the wall where he'd been kind of trying to push back from it. And with another final shudder, the house collapses beneath you. The fall is brief. It doesn't actually hurt. Alsana is floating, but you do get a little bit of a shower of goo as the ceiling overhead does that. Everybody who fell, you basically land in a growing pile that turns into a puddle of dissolving goo on the ground.
Make a Could Alsana have made any sort of check because her turn was kind of coming up to grab Calda?
It's pretty immediate. I'll allow you to go ahead and make basically a raw dexterity check in terms of reflex.
Alright. 9? Nah.
Nope. You kind of swipe towards Calda, but you're too far away. It's just happening too quickly.
Her arms are too short.
I'm sure.
Yep. Everybody lands unharmed thanks to the corpse of what
Squishy
turns
impact.
out to have been a very, very large mimic. With that, the area goes quiet again, and you are blinking in the almost sudden sunlight of this dappled forest glade. Goop starts kind of sinking into the earth. And Alsana, you hear a little voice at the back of your head. You did it. Well done.
Told you we could.
The other souls should have gone to their rest by now. And I should be leaving as well.
Uh-huh. I enjoyed your company so much.
And most people don't want a ghost in their heads.
You're not a ghost.
I know
just
I
a
would not
helpful
have.
friend.
Kind thing to say, but I don't know exactly how many years it has been, just that there have been too many. I have friends, family to see on the other side.
I don't blame you. It's as it should be. I wouldn't hold you here even if I could.
You feel the cold spot in the back of your head fade a little bit as everybody else, you see the form of Tanalia drift out of Alsana. And she hovers for a moment in the sunlight. She tips her head up to it.
Can Alsana give a
It's
bit of a prayer or any sort of religious rite to it?
You could. You probably know a few rites. Most of them are for, laying the undead back to rest, given your background. So you utter one of these almost blessings, almost charms of protection.
Mm-hmm.
As Tanalia looks at the sky and says, "It's been so long since I've seen the sun." And with that, and a last sigh, you see her form grow more and more translucent in the light until she fades away like mist. You are left alone, just the four of you, in the middle of this open grove in the forest.
Any remains of the house at all?
A slowly shrinking puddle of...
Alsana's gonna try to quickly bottle something.
All right. It's probably simple enough to pull out a flask and scoop some stuff into it. Give me a very quick sleight of hand check just to see how full you get the vial.
14. I don't suppose she could have guided herself to that.
Probably.
Yeah, a bit of a
Probably.
reactionary thing. Yeah.
You're having to kind of fumble the cork open very, very quickly. You're using both hands for that. But you get it. I'll say 3/4 vial of giant mimic goo.
Giant mimic goo. Alright. Oh. Well then.
That was interesting.
I'm glad we set them to rest. Excuse me a moment, I just need to check something. She's going to start the ritual for Commune with Nature once more.
Okay. All right. For the next 11-minute ritual, so 11 minutes, you are sitting down and communing with the natural world around. If anybody else wants to get up to anything in those 11 minutes, let me know. If not, what questions is Alsana gonna ask?
First one with the bullet, influence from other planes.
All right, okay. You sense no influence from other planes within 3 miles.
Okay, and she did before with the ethereal when they got here.
Yes. Yeah.
Good. That's all I really needed, but for the fun of it, she'll ask for prevalent plants and prevalent animals.
All right, prevalent plants and animals. Let's see. Within 3 miles,
Wait,
for
hold on.
plants?
It's knowledge of up to 3 facts of your choice about any of the following subjects as they relate to the area. Could she ask about the location of people in general relative to her?
Possibly, probably. Let's see. So within 3 miles of you, of course, all of your companions light up, knowledge, naturally.
Yep.
Beyond that, let's see.
Even any that might
You,
have passed through here recently?
You are not far from the edge of the forest, but not many people live out there, so yeah, you're within a portion of that hex. Yeah, there's not really any people within 3 miles currently or recently.
Okay. Alright. Then yeah, she'll just ask for any I guess any alchemical plants in the area. Any ones with odd effects.
Um,
For her third
let's
question.
see. Okay. They almost definitely exist. A number of general use ones, and I'm gonna say that there's probably at least a little bit of Dittany out there. And let's see. There might be a little bit of Sleeper's Shroud.
Okay.
Basically, if you wanted to go search for it, you wouldn't require a check. It just might take a little bit of extra time.
Alright. Would you be able to basically kind of plot a course that wouldn't take them too far off and kind of nearby where some Dittany could be as they continued on?
Let's see. You might have to swerve a little bit out of your way to get a little bit of it, like a mile over here, and then continue on. It's not going to put too much extra time on, but it will be just a bit.
Okay, we'll just take the straight route then, if ever. Well, she'll kind of awake from her little informative trance. Okay, any and all trace of the ethereal, at least within our general area, is gone and done with.
That's good. That's good. In the 11 minutes call, they would have given Kane 20 lay on hands.
All right.
Just so he's not squishy.
So he's up 20 points. Good to know.
How long do you think before we reach wherever you're taking us?
It could vary. I'm not sure of their exact location.
All right.
But I'm aware of the possibilities of where they are.
Okay.
So should
we walk until sundown? If we can't find them, make some camp. And how safe is this to make camp just in the middle of the woods?
I've done it before. Would she know if there's any like extreme dangers or anything like that, or?
There's occasional monsters and creatures. It's always safer in a group, but it's not like, every 2 steps you're going to stumble across something.
No random encounters or anything like that.
Random encounters are possible.
No JRPG random encounters.
Okay, yeah.
No, yeah.
You move 2 squares and something starts a fight. No.
The screen zooms in. Whoosh, Okay.
Yep.
Well, no more or less than any other forest. There's always weird things about. For example, giant killer houses. But
Yeah. Well, if we're walking and we see something, we can probably handle ourselves.
yes,
We will
for camping
need
out, I've
to rest.
done it before. It's not
Overtly dangerous.
no poisonous fog comes over the area at nighttime or anything like that.
Reassuring. That
At least
wasn't
not
even one
anymore.
of my concerns. Not anymore. That wasn't even one of my concerns.
Well, then
Okay,
don't
I'll
let it be.
add that to the list. Not anymore. I'm adding it to the list and crossing it off. Got it. Let's just keep going. I'll bring Mori out. He'll give some direction to see if there's anything out there to help lead us to.
Okay.
You know the way. So lead the way.
All right. So you're heading roughly south and west,
Mhm.
if I recall, to about the last known location of, or not the last known, the place where you would expect a camp to be at this time of year. Um, you're probably not going to be able to make it in the single day. I'd say you might make about anywhere from 12 to 14 miles, depending. Let's say 13 or so was a good in between. Um, so, Alsana, you've got navigation down. Calda, do you want to go ahead and do a Mori perception check just for keeping an eye out?
Know it. You know it.
All right. 22.
You want to roll
All
survival?
right.
Or is she just kind of casually doing that?
Let's see. I cannot recall what I had you do last time because it's been a couple weeks. I think I had you do survival with advantage.
Alright.
So let's go ahead and do that.
And the guidance.
Yep. And a guidance.
Oi!
Yep. Oh boy.
Woohoo!
So what?
27. Yep. You know the woods very well, and you're finding that even though it's been a little while,
Oh,
not
look, one of my old camps.
yeah, not so much has changed that has made it unrecognizable. There's nothing like newly fallen trees or new growth that's wildly different from what you recall.
Did they
Everything is
maybe
pretty
just
much
find like
usual.
a
By the way, you find a Dittany as you go, in fact.
Oh, okay.
Once you get beyond that 3 mile radius, just as a matter of course, as
she
you're
trips over it.
as you're picking your way through the underbrush, you happen to glance over and do a little double take as you go, oh, hello. Even if
Oh.
only on the inside.
Perfect. Alsana will go down and kind of carefully take it and go, everyone, whatever you do, don't touch this.
Are you gonna touch it?
Well, I'm going to harvest safely, but unless you're a fan of your skin being very sensitive to sunlight, maybe don't rub it on it.
Yeah, not in the mood. Go for it.
Seriously, it will blister like a vampire.
I know the name of this plant.
So Alsana has the gloves from the herbalist kit and the various tools for cutting and storing it.
Yep.
So you get that packed away. One Dittany plant,
Alright. So like one sprig?
basically.
Alright, I had 9 sprigs already, so just add on.
You can make such potions. All right.
Ooh,
As you travel, and after that windfall, other than that, it's fairly a fairly simple, uneventful walk for the most part. Mori kind of swoops around, keeps an eye out, dodges trees, spots the occasional squirrel, maybe gets a snack, depending on his tastes. There are various small animals, birds. It is a lively, thriving springtime forest.
Alsana
There
is
are
happy.
Yep, there are new green growths on all the trees. The leaves are that lovely, sort of almost translucent yellow green of new spring leaves with the sun beaming through them. There's a refreshing breeze that occasionally sweeps through the treetops and finds its way down to you. Not
So,
too warm, not too cool.
over the whole trip, Alsana has this like mildly content look on her face.
You seem to know the area well. You from it?
I've spent some time here, yes. They say sitting at a camp she probably made a few years ago.
It's a really nice area.
It really quite is. But as you see, it needs its own protection in its own special way. Although I didn't
Oh, yeah.
exactly come into contact with any carnivorous houses.
You think the house was hurting it?
I think there's a number of oddities coming in from a number of planes. Things are weird and messy, and well, you saw that the Golpheus tree we dealt with in Thornwood that came from the Shadowfell. Whatever that was, I can only assume it's either influenced by, attuned to, and created a rift about, or just fell right out of the ethereal.
Oh. It's not good. Really not good. I hope.
Planes and transitions between places aren't completely unnatural, but when it's horrid things that destroy ecosystems like we've seen.
I hope at least whatever work we're doing will also help protect all these forests and all that then.
Oh, there's plenty who already do that. That's what I was trained to do. I'm glad I
Oh.
still get the opportunity.
Were you trained in the area?
Let's save that for when we get to where we're going to.
Alright, you keep your secrets for now.
I can at least give you a date and time. Well, maybe not exactly, but I'd be surprised if we didn't get there within the next couple of days.
Oh, well, that'll be nice. Since not waiting months for an explanation, so it's good. Thank you then for when you're going to explain it.
She just kind of shrugs. Oh, shall we be going again?
I suppose. Nowhere else to go except into the woods or out of the woods. So,
Nowhere to go but following me. And she floats on up.
yeah. You seem to know your way.
All right. Continue onwards through the rest of the afternoon and evening. You make camp for the night. Watches are set and taken, and with two of the party currently not here, I'm just going to say that it goes uneventfully
Alright.
rather than have the full array of perception rolls. You wake up bright and early in the morning, have breakfast, pack up camp, and set out again. Let's have another Alsana survival and Calder through Mori perception for this next leg of the journey. And yes, guidance applies to Alsanas. 26.
Only one less.
And 20 for Mori, only 2 less. You guys are doing very well with this. As Alsana, you almost unerringly find your way to a little bit of a tributary stream that you remember and follow it back to its source, a larger stream that you know trickles about in the same direction as the river, and you will soon come across where the camp usually should be. Yeah, you're probably just a few miles out from it. Might take a better part of a morning to reach there. But before you've gone further than, a couple of miles into this journey, Calda, Mori hears something. Doesn't see it
Oh.
immediately, but something catches the owl's sense of hearing. And you are kind of alerted to it through your familiar bond with Mori. And it's the sound of first a bow being drawn and fired, a faint, distant shout over the sound,
Maury's gonna get bamfed
and then
into
a
his
call for help.
Oh, okay. Then he's back and flying in that direction. Calder's going, hold! And pointing in the direction that she can hopefully tell Maury's flying.
Yep. Mori flies not very far, just kind of over a ridge and breaks out between some trees to another small stream. Actually, it's the same small stream that you guys were next to. It's just a little bit of a bend and a stretch along it.
Does
And he sees.
does Calder basically describe what he heard?
Hold, call for help, and immediately starts.
All right, and then
Yep.
Alsana is going to bamf into an owl herself.
All right,
Follow
you take
after.
off. You take off after Mori, so you see almost at the same time as Calda sees through Mori, the bank of the stream, where it flows rather wide but very shallow, through a little bit of a ditch, almost not quite a gorge, but depression in the ground.
I know we got a long rest, right?
Yes, you did. So make sure you've marked that. You see various trees and bushes lining these banks, a fallen log crossing it at one point, some moss-covered rocks and boulders. And you also see, clambered atop one of those rocks, is the form of what appears to be a humanoid, but with pale green skin and hair that resembles leaves and vines more than anything else. She's clinging to the top of this boulder at the side of the stream, and it is her voice that's calling out to another humanoid figure standing just before the rock with a bow and arrow in hand, as she cries out, "Look out! No! Get away! You have to run!" As the figure draws another arrow and looses it, and it whizzes and thuds into a shambling mass of vines that is ambling towards them and crying out in a deep, guttural roar.
Alsana, if she can, is going to basically, like soar on down to beside the one with the bow.
All right. You give a look. You recognize this person.
Mm-hmm.
As this is a young, he's a teenager, human, dressed in dark leather armor,
All right.
dark cloak, sword at his side, bow in his hand. One Talon Dark Hunter.
And the owl will swoop in right beside,
Mhm.
turn into Alsana.
All right.
Oh, Talon, long time no see. What do you need help with?
Yeah! And the next shot goes wide. At this point, I'm going to say Calder and the others start running towards this scene because initiative is about to happen and I don't want to leave everybody behind.
Alsana is holding a flaming sphere.
All right. Yeah, you didn't have time to cast that just yet.
No, it's in her back pocket.
It's going to happen. All right, go ahead and Alsana, put yourself on the map right about there on the rock next to the Dryad and the Hunter.
Shambling mound.
Yep. Everybody else is going to be approaching kind of from this end, the left-hand side. They are currently off the map, thanks to people going ahead. Mori is in this vicinity, however. Let me get a cane on there.
How far away off the map?
let's see, if you dash every round, because you were going to be like the 200 plus feet, I'm going to say that dashing every round 60 feet per round. Screw it, it's going to be about 3 rounds before you get there.
Okay.
That's 180 feet.
Okay.
So, unless you have a way to go faster, that's about how long it's going to take. Unfortunately, Alsana, you get to weather this until then.
All right.
So, let's get the initiative up. Let's have everybody roll on it. Let me change the music. Because other things are about to start happening. Let's go ahead and get this open. I need to open so many sheets now. Got that. I've got this. Whoops. There he is. Oh, and I've got Kane. All right. Sorry, long rest him. Okay. Kane is initiative 12. Okay, I think we've got everybody on there, don't we?
I think so.
Descending order. Ooh, Talon's going fast. All right. As he draws back his bow, takes aim at the shambling mound approaching, and fires one shot. 24 will hit for 5 piercing damage. As the arrow strikes true, but doesn't seem to do very much to it. The Dryad is next. And let's see. Oh, this sheet does not have. Nice. I
Spells
copied
are
the sheet,
goofy.
but spells are not. Yep, they're not visible. I do not know what certain things do.
I can have Druid spells up if you need help with that.
She's going to cast Bark Skin on herself to bring her armor class up.
All right.
That is an action. And so that is going to be what she does. She's going to kind of keep to this rock for the most part. Kalda, you are running. Alsana, unless you want to have Mori do something on your turn.
So Mori was doing the same speed as Alsana, so he's probably in the vicinity, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Does
Probably
anyone
feel
look
anywhere
like
in
hurt
this
on his
yet?
shoulder or something.
Yeah, does anyone look hurt yet?
Not really.
Okay.
Currently, nobody seems to have been hit by anything aside from the mound.
Okay, he's just gonna fly up 20 feet and stay there. And if anyone looks to get hurt, Calder can cast Cure Wounds through him.
You know what? Out of curiosity, I'm gonna go ahead and have you roll one more Mori perception check on the area.
Okay.
As he is getting a higher vantage point.
18.
All right. You're not in a position to really warn anybody unless Mori gets creative. There is another shambling mound in the vicinity. It's currently kind of hidden, disguised as just a pile of vines, leaves, plant matter, but Mori sees the very slight twitch of movement.
Okay, Calder can't look through his eyes right now because they're not at the range, but does she get the general feeling of more danger?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. He's gonna
that's
poop
actually that's actually 100 feet too. You might not know.
Yeah.
Mori knows.
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. If Mori has natural instinct, hooting like crazy in that in the general direction, sort of like swooping down and up and sort of going around.
All right. Alsana, what's your passive animal handling?
Passive animal handling 50.
All right, you know that something is up with that owl, and the owl is definitely intelligent, of course. He seems to be kind of swooping in the general vicinity, like somewhere up here on this bank.
Okay. Could she get enough to know that might be something coming from that direction?
Strange behavior, 15 on the animal handling. Yeah, something's up over there. Something
Okay.
has set the owl off. You don't know exactly what it is, though.
Something's coming from behind. Is there anyone in that thing, Talon?
What do you mean, anyone in? It's just a mound. Oh, no, it hasn't eaten anybody. At least I don't think it has.
Alright, fine by me. She's going to go ahead, change my mind, because because I know kind of about shambling mounds. Can I have her roll like a nature or something? If
You
she's
can
encountered
have
with these?
you can have a roll a nature check.
Alright. 24.
24. All right.
No lightning.
Yep, you know about that.
No lightning, and don't they resist, some basic damages too?
Yeah, basically, elemental damage in vague general terms isn't the best thing to bring against them.
Yep. Alright, so she's going to go ahead. Going to cast Moonbeam at 4th level.
All right. Nice. Where are you setting that?
Right on the one in front of her.
Okay. 5-foot radius, so it's just right into the middle of it, probably. Make the
Alright.
circle whenever you feel like it. I will go ahead and get that Constitution saving throw. What is your DC again?
There we go.
Oh, I rolled to GM by accident. I'm gonna re-roll that to everybody.
My DC
just-
is 18.
It's the same number, 14. All right.
Okay, she's gonna drop 5 Heartless Dice on that.
Go for it. Oh god, yep. 54 damage on that first blow. As you cast Moonbeam, and it just hammers down into the center of this creature.
She just like pulls out the like dark ash and like draws a rune in front of her and just does like the 2 fingers upwards and just
Yep. Almost it seems to shake the mound apart, almost, but then it seems to pull itself back together. And next to you, Talon seems to start a little bit. The hell do you learn that?
I've been busy while I was gone. How about you? And
Screw you!
as a bonus action, can she pass a vial of green dragon poison to him?
You know what? Sure.
All right.
You reach over, grab his hand as he fumbles for another arrow, and the poison into his hand. He looks down. What the hell? What's this?
Green dragon poison.
I don't have the time for that! As the mound starts to move, unless you've got another thing you're gonna do. Action, bonus action, any movement.
Let me double check something on Moonbeam. First time its turn there.
Yep. So it's gonna take a repeat of that as soon as it starts its turn.
She might actually move it ever so slightly. Just to if I can touch the thing.
On each of your turns after you cast the spell, you can use an action to move the beam.
Okay, yep, never mind then. But yeah, that'll stay there. Yeah, that'll be her turn for now.
Alright. Go ahead and get another con save in there. Ooh, no!
All right.
Roll that damage again.
Repeat of level 4. 24 radiant.
Oh, wow. Okay, as this moonbeam is tearing this thing apart, it's still alive, it's still moving.
Oversight.
Okay,
Okay, just one. I'll do just one.
okay.
But oh, I want this thing dead.
Yeah. By all means.
9.
Alright. 9. There we go. as it begins to move out of the moonbeam space and towards all of you. Yeah, I think it would. It's not intelligent, super intelligent, but it has a little wisdom. It knows what the biggest threat is.
All right.
So, yep, it's gonna go for you, Alsana. Oh, by the way, you've got the highest perception of the group, right?
19.
What is
yes.
it? 18, 19? Okay, 19. Things are a little bit hectic, but right about then you also see a bit of movement from behind where Mori was swooping around. And you see this start to move along.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're turning your head back to look at the more current threat, you also catch a glimpse out of the corner of your eye in the other direction. Another one that was even more stealthy and you just barely notice.
Oh, joy.
So, this one in front of you, badly burnt, trailing scraps of vine and leaf and root. It strikes towards you
Go for it.
with 2 slam attacks. 17?
Hits.
16.
Hits. So that's
It
28
Yep.
damage.
And you are currently grappled as both attacks hit you, and it uses Engulf.
There we go. Alright, so first up, she's going to be doing the 2 con saves for Moonbeam.
Okay?
13, she's good.
Okay, good. The Engulf just happens. You are currently blinded, restrained, and unable to breathe. The Constitution save is the start of each of the mound's turns.
So she doesn't take any damage this turn?
She takes the damage. She is engulfed, but she does not have to take the con save or take bludgeoning damage from being engulfed.
So that 16 on the engulf doesn't apply right now?
No. Oh, yeah. No. Sorry.
Okay, yep.
I just clicked on it for the
No
text.
problem, just making sure.
My bad. All right. So you are currently engulfed inside the creature. And for that, actually, I'm going to say that it's kind of moved into your space.
Alright.
So that is there. You no longer see what's going on with the others, so I'm just going to go ahead and put them back on GM layer. Nobody else is there to see them.
Oh boy.
But they are stealthing right along. All right. With that, Kane and Alaris are running. That is 1 round. 2 rounds to go before the rest of the party arrives.
How many feet are we away?
You moved 60 feet. You were 180 away. You are now at 120.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right. Talon is going to put away his bow, pull out his sword, and he's going to first cast Hunter's Mark on this thing because he had not done so before.
There's like a muffled, "Get me out, Wonder Boy!"
You hear the shout of, I'm trying! Actually, as I look at... I forgot, I've got to make the sheet bigger in order to see the drop-downs of spells. Ranged weapon attack. Yeah, he's gonna Hunter's Mark this. And attempt to hit. Oh boy! Woo!
Ooh.
Double that
You
Hunter's
did
Mark.
surprisingly well. Okay, 9 and 5 and 10. So that's 24 damage.
Mhm.
All right. It's still up. It's still holding on to you, Alsana, but for just a moment, the vines part at one side before they whip back into place as the blade of a sword cuts a little uncomfortably close to your side. You were quickly sealed away again, but for just a second, he was cutting through. He only has the 1 attack, so that is it for him. But he's going to continue to menace this mound. Now the Dryad. Let's see. Can she do anything to help with this? Not so much. She has bark skin on. and she is going to
Any touch spells?
you know, yeah, I'm looking. Um, she's got entangle, which probably is going to help. She's got nope, that's not going to help. She can cast Shillelagh. Is Shillelagh a bonus action? This thinks it's action, but I don't trust it.
I think it's a bonus. Let me check my druid spells.
I feel like it's a bonus. I'm looking it up in Roll20. Yeah, it's a bonus action for a minute. So she casts Shillelagh, and you don't see it, but she kind of like shakes a hand, and this club of wood almost seems to grow from it before breaking off, and she grasps it. With Shillelagh on it, she is going to take a swing at this creature, kind of desperately, and unfortunately miss, as an 11 kind of thuds into the viney exterior of this thing without actually causing any hurt. Calda, you are running.
I have an owl.
You have an owl, you know what's going on, you see things happening. There is, you can see through Mori, one sneaky shambling mound creeping up on the party from behind. It's close to the bridge, it might be crossing it or the stream quite soon.
I'm within 100 feet.
Oddly, you do not see Elsana, but with that 100-foot telepathic connection, you get the gist from Mori. Basically, this thing has swarmed over her and is holding her inside of it.
Can Mori get a part of Elsana and call to cast a spell through?
He cannot reach Elsana. She is fully engulfed. The
Oh,
very
shit.
brief parting of vines was just talon cutting, and then it closed over again, though thinner. Basically, it's flavor.
Okay, that's okay. Okay,
All
we're
right.
still running.
All right. Alsana, it is dark. You are blinded. You are restrained. You can't really breathe. You're holding your breath. But
But she knows where the moonbeam is. She knows where she is.
Yeah. Yep.
So we call it over.
all right. Of note, I'm pretty sure you're going to be taking this damage too because it does not care about full. Oh, good. Well done. I was fully expecting you to center it on it and just kamikaze it for some reason.
Nah.
Okay. All right. This thing gets to make another con save. Is doing very poorly with these. Okay.
I'm gonna put one more Harvest Scythe into that.
Go for it.
Cause, oosh. Hi.
How do you want to tear this thing apart?
Oh. There's just a hand that like comes out and like grabs onto one of the vines and just like clutches down on the whole thing, just like glows white as the moonbeam comes down on it, and she just pulls herself out.
Yep. All right.
And she also heals herself. It's not undead, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
You know it is a plant.
Yep, but she gets 2 hit points back.
Yep. Okay, that was your action to move it.
Yep.
You pull yourself from the dissolving, disintegrating vines.
She'll, if she's prone, she'll have her movement to get up.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And she'll just kind of walk over to this side. And... Ooh, know what? No. Order of operations are weird here, because he wouldn't take damage till the start of his turn, which is directly after. But she wouldn't get the rest of her turn. She'd still technically be engulfed. That damage would only happen when it starts its turn, so her bonus action stuff would still be...
Right. Yeah, I kind of missed that with the moving thing.
However...
Moonbeam is weird.
Yes, however,
And
word is just verbal.
Technically, at the start of his turn, you would have to make that save, and basically it's trying to crush you while you're trying to burn it. You definitely succeeded in burning it, but it might have done a little bludgeoning first.
Would the... what's the wording on the engulf? Is it like when it's... Like when it starts its turn, or is it the beginning?
and it must succeed on a DC 14 Constitution saving throw at the start of each of the mound's turns or take the bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
So if you succeed on that DC 14 con save, you take nothing.
Okay. Let me just double because Moonbeam is when a creature's first time or on a turn or starts its turn there.
So when it moves into it, or starts its turn, or when it's first cast.
Yeah. I guess I'm just wondering if like one would happen before the other there. Or
I'd
if
say
they're
they'd
just
probably be
simultaneous.
they're simultaneous.
Oh right. So she'll
It's
just have a
it's basically crushing you as it's falling apart. The question
Well
is, yep. All right, I'm gonna flavor it then as basically as it tries to crush you, you're able to hold it off just long enough for the moonbeam to bring it down completely.
And just as a side note too, because the turns kind of got mangled there.
Yeah.
She would be technically restrained.
Mm-hmm.
However, Healing Word is only verbal.
Okay.
So as a bonus action, she's gonna cast it
oh,
on herself as
you-
second level.
You got to be able to breathe, I think. Do you have to be able to breathe for verbal spells?
Oh, then
She's like the con of +3, so it's like 3 minutes she can hold her breath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can hold your breath.
yeah, you
Question
can
is,
shout when you're
you can
underwater.
let it out. Yeah, you can let
Yeah,
it
you
out.
can shout.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Take it.
Yeah,
Do it.
All right. All right. Heals herself a bit more.
I am realizing how weird the engulf is.
Oh yeah.
Because, oh boy, how do you?
Oh, I
how do
remember
you
staring at
handle
that
some of
thing
this?
for a while when I went to use it, and oh boy.
Yeah.
But she pulls herself out and she kind of like looks towards Talon. Goes, oh, you've got a better arm on you. There's 2 more coming in though.
Yep. As you look over and you see them being very stealthy by all accounts, but you're able to just pick them out as they kind of almost slither over the ground. A few little viney movements at a time. However, it is their turn, and at that point, they are going to go ahead and kind of give up on that stealth in order to snapping. In order to move fully. This one is going to kind of go down this embankment and into the water a bit.
Difficult terrain for it at all?
Little bit. Just a little bit. Enough that it's not doing its full 20 feet. This
That's only
one
20 feet.
is going to kind of go over the bridge and over next to you.
Does it get an action or?
Yeah, it gets an action. That was
Okay.
its movement.
Right.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's gonna do the obvious thing.
Go for it.
17,
Hits.
16,
Hits.
and you're engulfed again.
Yep.
This one I'm gonna have you drag you into its space because technically it used all its movement to get adjacent.
Yep. So that's 29.
As you catch your breath from the first one, and the second one, just as you say, we've got company.
It takes damage.
It does! Alright, let's take that con saving throw. And it fails again. Roll your damage.
Repeat.
Yep.
More
All
Harvest
right.
Scythe.
Go for it.
4.
Alright. Okay. It's not as rough as you got that first one with that initial moonbeam, but you just as it starts dragging you in, you see some of the leaves and vines on the far edges curl and singe and blacken. Kane and Alaris running. They caught up with you, Calda. Top of the round, you've got one more round, and then you'll arrive. Talon, seeing this,
She just gives this
panicking
like
a little.
dissatisfied look towards Talon as she gets consumed again.
Yeah! He's gonna shift his hunter's mark over to this new one with his bonus action, run forward, and he's going to slice with his sword, but unfortunately this time he doesn't get the angle right, and it kind of bounces off some of the tougher bark. The Dryad is going to attempt again with the Shillelagh Club and actually hit
Hey.
for 10 bludgeoning damage. as the club itself actually breaks some of the bark and branch components of this thing's form, rather than just bouncing off the rubbery vines. Caldo, you're running. You're about 60
Ariel.
feet out at the end of your round, yes?
At the end of the round. Fuck! Wait,
Oh,
60
fuck.
feet out. End of the round. I am going to use my bonus action instead of using my dash action and Misty Step instead.
Okay,
So I-
okay. So you're
so I have my
60 feet.
action.
You're 60 feet off the edge of the map. So whatever you're measuring, add 60 to it.
Son of a bitch.
Eldritch Blast.
What range do I have?
Eldritch
It's
Blast.
120.
Yeah, you're 20
I
feet
know for a fact
shy
that's
still.
120. Good lord. Then I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to mulligan it. Because I thought I'd be in range.
I will let you mulligan it because it's a matter of distances, and you've probably got an idea of how far you can get in a step, how far you can get with the blast. I'll let
I'm
you
gonna
take that
mulligan
spell
it.
slot back. Take it back.
Thank you. I'm gonna mulligan it. I can't do math.
Here's a-
It's fine. You know what you're doing.
I have
It's
a-
okay.
I
Calder
have,
knows.
I have a question.
What's the
Yes.
question?
Are either of Talon's weapons magical?
No, they are not. But this thing does not resist non-magical weapons.
Yeah, but in theory,
Mm.
if Kalda had a spell that made things magical,
Mm-hmm.
and an owl nearby,
Do I have it prepared?
just an idea.
Why would I have magic weapon prepared?
I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Hot take. I'm sorry.
On the
Also, I
upside-
need to be within 100 feet for that too.
Is
Mm.
magic weapon not
Oh.
touch a weapon?
No, but if it's a touch spell, I need to be within 100 feet of them to cast a spell through my
okay.
familiar.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Because you
I'll be
are
right back.
140 from the actual action happening.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be right back. That's my turn. I'm gonna be right back. Alaris is just
Okay.
fucking bolting to.
Hello, Kane.
Test.
You are currently running like hell trying to reach this encounter that Alsana is in the middle of without the rest of the party.
Yeah, I was vaguely informed. Also, what the fuck? Alright, let's go.
Alsana does this, and sooner or later she had to face the consequences. So,
Very fair.
Alsana, you are restrained, blinded, cannot breathe. You're not taking bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
because
shit.
of your thing turn, but she's gonna
Asana, you fucked up.
twice. What would you like to do? You know that your moonbeam is right on it. You don't have to move it.
Yeah, she's a good cast healing word on herself again.
Okay. As you let out a little burst of air in order to cast this spell.
3rd level.
Mhm.
Roger.
All right. It's the mound's turn. At the top of its turn, it takes damage, but potentially so do you. There's going to be a couple of con saves. Here is its engulf. And give me the moonbeam, please. Oh, 17. What's your DC again?
18.
All right, it fails. Let's have that damage. Ooh, 35. Okay.
And then she needs to make a con save.
Yes, DC 14. You
Natural
succeed.
20
You
again?
take. Yep, you take no bludgeoning damage from this. As it tries to squeeze around you, but you're holding it off. All right. It
More
still has
stubbornness
its
than
action.
anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There is probably an undercurrent of I refuse to die to this thing in such an undignified way. But it's gonna go ahead and it's gonna try to slam a couple other targets that are right there. So it's gonna go for Talon and it's gonna go for the Dryad, and oh, both of those hit. Oh, both of those hurt. You are not able to see or really know much about what's going on out there.
Mhm.
However, Calda will see through Mori, though, or will soon see through Mori that both of them are very hurt by this.
Oh,
They are squishy. Kane, you are running. At basically the end of your turn, you have reached the end of the map. End of Alaris' turn. Or wait, no, you haven't
Lars
quite
has long
yet.
ass range.
No,
Wait, then I would have
he
reached the edge of the map.
does. No, you haven't reached the edge of the map. I was miscounting.
Yeah.
it'll
Alaris has
be
a
the next
100-foot
round.
range on the heavy. Alaris has a 100-foot range.
He
on the
has
heavy.
maximum range. He
Yeah,
has
he's-
400. I
Oh,
forgot about
fuck, I could
that.
have been attacking the entire time.
All right. Alaris will fall a little bit behind the two of you in that case, but he can shoot if you'd like.
He could
can
Misty
only...
Step for this round.
Okay. Burn
Yeah.
the spell slot. You guys are actually currently 60 feet off the edge of the map right now.
Ty, do you want me to
So-
grab Alaris or no?
No, I'm feeling cathartic playing Warlock again.
All right. I, however, will close out of Kane's sheet because I believe you can take care of that now, right?
Yep.
All right. He has not taken any damage. You guys long rested since the house fight, so you're coming into this fresh, but probably a little bit winded because you've been dashing for a couple rounds here. But yes, go ahead and have Alaris make a couple of attacks. He can only see the one. No, wait, the other one broke stealth. He can see either one.
Okay, he's gonna go for the one here because it's closer to squishies.
Yes. By all
So
means.
Let's
Take
do
this.
1,
That hits.
and let's do 2. Ugh.
Oh, that unfortunately kind of just whizzes just over the top of it. Still, 11
Alrighty.
damage.
And then bonus action would just be bopping.
Yep. So, all three of them are 60 feet from the edge of the map currently, from their current positions. It is Talon's turn. Oh, I gotta see if his hunter's mark is still up.
Ooh, good point.
It's still
Oh,
up. Oh, he is holding on to that with grim determination. So, not really having anything else to do. He does not have healing of any kind. He is going to try to slam the sword into this thing again. 15. Oh, that just hits. 4 piercing damage. Not much, but Hunter's Mark added makes it 7. There it goes. He's chipping away at this very slowly. With that, the Dryad's turn is up. She doesn't have a lot of healing per se, but she does have Goodberry.
Oh.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. 10 berries. Can use its action to eat 1 berry and it restores 1 hit point. Oh no.
If Elsana can yell anything out of the fucking man, it's like, just hit it!
Yeah, she's just gonna hit it. I had to check and see if it was possible, but nope. So she is just gonna try to wail on it with the shillelagh. That's not gonna hit. That's an 8. That misses. As she's starting to panic a little bit. Calda. 60 feet
Okay.
off the edge of the map. You can reach it if you want to use your Misty Step now and be able
Yeah,
to
I'm gonna
action
do-
with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that now.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and I only have 1 range thing, so let's fucking blast it at the one by the squishies.
Yep.
Let's go, Unos, and then
Ooh. Ooh, yes.
Ooh, speaking of Harkness, goddamn.
yeah,
12
And,
points of damage. Okay.
and then Mori, because Mori technically has his own turn, is going to swoop down on. I'm gonna roll a d2 real quick, d4, whatever. Yep.
Isn't it
On
still
the
you
Dryad.
casting it through him?
It technically Mori has its own turn and should roll initiative. I just didn't do it.
Well, yeah, but no, I mean, it's
When-
it's still you casting the spell. You're just
Here's
using
the
him as
here's the, I don't know.
Hold on, what spell you worried about?
Mori must use its reaction. I
Yeah,
don't know what the
it's
fuck that means.
your action. Your action and your
Ooh.
familiar's reaction.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
weird.
He's not the one casting the spell. You're the one casting the spell. You're just using
Okay.
him as a pylon.
I get it. I get it.
If
Okay.
you want, you can have him use the help action so that the next attack against something has advantage.
Yeah, let's use help on the Dryad then. Sure. Yeah,
Alright.
that'll work.
Okay, I'll say Mori's kind of swooping around this mound, and whoever attacks it next has advantage if it's a rolled attack. Sound good?
Yep.
He's being distracting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you are at the edge of the map officially. Halsana, still blinded, restrained, and can't breathe.
You know what's nice?
Hmm.
This doesn't need me to see.
Okay, just swoosh. You know which creatures are within range very easily.
Yep.
Pretty sure that can include you, so go for it.
Both
Oh.
18.
Very
Yep.
good. They needed it.
Start of the round. Guess who takes more Moonbeam?
Yep, and guess who takes another engulf, potentially. So let's go ahead and have that con save. Oh, he takes half on Moonbeam.
Shame.
Yeah, but
24.
you're still doing a lot. So 12 Moonbeam damage.
I need to make a Constitution saving throw.
You
Yeah.
have not been taking any engulf damage at all in all this. All right. With that, the mound decides it's had enough of this moonbeam nonsense. Not knowing, well, not really knowing or caring that it's going to follow, it kind of shuffles out of the moonbeam. It's unaware of what it's in for. And it's gonna attempt to slam a couple people again. Talon, ouch. And Dryad, ouch. Both are still up thanks to your mass healing word. But it has hit them both once more. With that, this mound is, let's see, what is its perception going to be like? I'm going to just do a quick little, shouldn't be a saving throw, should be a check. Nah, it's still kind of fixated. It hasn't quite realized that others have turned up just yet. So it's going to keep on. Ooh, it cannot make it. It's going to keep on oozing straight forward, but not in too great a hurry. They seem rather confident. Kane, you have just, if you dash this turn, you will have just reached the edge of the map where your token is. That is if you can dash.
Okay. I'm going to. I have a clear sight of them still, right?
Yes, you do.
All right. In that case, without even dashing, I'm going to instead just use my owl shortbow.
Okay.
And take 2 shots in the one engulfing Alsana.
All right. Keep in mind you are currently 30 feet off the edge of the map in that case.
Yep, 110 feet, right?
Easily, yep.
Yep. Let me just make sure. I apologize for that background noise.
It is very
80. Okay. Well, nothing I can do about it. Yeah, it's 8320, so it will be disadvantage.
Okay.
Yep, just what I gotta do.
Yep.
So, gonna take 2 shots. If either of them hit, I'm gonna use the Frighten ability.
Okay.
Or you can close.
Actually, I'm just not gonna have disadvantage when I use my longbow instead. Never mind.
Okay.
Sorry, just loading.
Okay. Just wait and see when they turn up. You did click them, right?
I did. It's just being really slow.
Okay. Yeah, this is unusually slow.
Yeah. Oh, there's one.
There it is. All right. 15 does just hit.
Okay, if that one hits, I'm gonna use Frighten once my sheet accepts it.
Okay.
What's the DC on
There's the
Frighten?
second.
Wisdom saving throw, DC 15, and it takes the 8 damage, of course. So there we go. It fails that wisdom save. It is frightened of you for this round.
Oh shit! Sorry, I looked at the wrong one. I meant to say disarm.
Oh, do you want to take it back as a mulligan?
Yeah, if I could.
Okay, go ahead and roll disarm instead. I'm gonna take, yep. I'll just take the damage from the first one because it's the same die. So it's
Okay.
still 8 damage. It's just a strength saving throw instead.
mean, is it really holding Alsana?
Oh, it's drop one item of your choice.
Yeah. It's grappling a creature.
Yeah. Technically, that's not. Technically, Alsana is not an item. Do you want to stick with disarming and?
No, in that
with
case,
take the frighten?
I'll do frighten instead then.
Okay. So yeah, you cannot force it to drop Alsana. It's currently engulfed her, completely. But it is
Oh, okay.
scared of you. It is scared now.
Good to know. Okay. And yeah, obviously movement to move further, but that.
All right. You are 30 feet off the edge of the map, having used your movement and your action to do that. So, Elaris,
I can shoot.
yep, he runs up level with Kane, just with his movement. He is 30 feet off
that
the edge of the map,
bugger.
and he gives a shot.
Squishy bugger. 1, 2.
Ooh. Hit and miss. But 11, good. Shot. All right. All right.
He's not good.
Yep. This thing is looking really, really rough. You can see little, like, flashes of pale skin and black fabric somewhere inside the vines. Not enough to free her, but enough to tell you that this thing has not got a lot left. Talon is going to attempt to hit with a sword. It's frightened. Remind me, is that advantage on attacks against it, or only disadvantage for
I think
its
it has
attacks
disadvantage
against
against anything if the object of its
A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of their fear is in line of sight and cannot willingly move closer to the source of its fear.
Yeah, I remembered that. I just needed to make sure it was an advantage for Talon's sake. Hey, he hits anyway. 4 piercing damage, and he's got his hunter's mark up. Just barely enough.
Ooh.
8 damage is exactly what it had left. As the sword carves through, and Alsana, once again, you see the vines part inside under the sharp edge. But this time, they just fall apart around you, and you are free to emerge. As Talon spins around and kind of holds the sword out in front of him, facing the other one. He looks bruised, he looks dirty, he looks exhausted. The Dryad's not looking much better, but they
Alsana,
are...
talk to him real quick.
Yeah.
And she'll just, are you protecting this thing or can you run?
Yeah, I can run!
Then
But-
get out of here.
Okay, fine, come on! And he and the Dryad are going to kind of scoot around the moonbeam together. The Dryad throws a look over her shoulder at those who are just arriving at the edge of this area. She catches sight of those arriving, called in front, and she almost seems to stumble for a moment. And she turns her attention back to where she's going and continues to run.
Alsana will just call after. Just don't go too far.
We won't! Don't die!
Walking
And
on.
they move out of sight just off the map. Calda.
Alrighty, so I'm going to once again Misty Step and movement so I can get in melee with that Dryad, with this Dryad right here.
Not Dryad.
No, the
like-
ramble whatever
The
thing.
walking carpet.
Thing. Yeah, the carpet. And I'm taking 2 attacks at it. 1, fuck, 2, fuck.
Wow.
Oh no.
The dice are not your friend.
They were this. They were at the beginning of the session.
Not right now.
Oh, this is only one of the things now.
Yep, unfortunately, it avoids both of those as it hears the thump, and then the pat, 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 pat of your footsteps crunching through across the ground towards it. Turns just in time to see you, and it kind of almost seems to shift out of the way of your blows, infuriatingly. All right, Alsana. I believe that was a misclick by Conrad. So, Alsana, what would you like to do?
Moving the moonbeam
Of course.
over.
And at the
to
start of its turn, it's going to take that damage, which is up
bonus
next.
action, she is going to, once again, just healing word herself.
Good call.
now. 13.
All right.
Just take like one step over. A few steps over to here. Just kind of do our best to give them a bit of in between.
Okay. With that, this mound is going to take some damage. Half damage. Unfortunately, it's proving just a little bit more resilient. So, okay, still 12. As once again, you managed to singe the edges. However, with a easy target right in front of it, and kind of ignoring that bit of damage as it's not enough to cause it a serious setback yet, it's going to attempt to slam into Calda. 14! Not gonna hit.
Nope. I'm sorry, I'm briefly
Oh.
taking over Calda.
Okay. And a 13 is not gonna hit either.
Yeah, definitely not.
Calda is just fine.
Yo, Calda has some serious AC.
Mm-hmm.
Is the
All
music
right.
stopped for anyone else?
Nope.
You're
It's still
just
going.
starting to go.
All right. Kane, with your standard movement, you will be able to move up to that point on the map where your token is.
Perfect. Okay, and I'm going to maintain using the longbow for now, just for the sake of the extra range. Is this a new day?
Yep, we had a long
You
rest.
had your
Okay,
long-
good. Yeah, I just want to make sure all my stuff was correct on the sheet. So, there is one. That's a shame. There's two. That's a real damn shame.
Yep.
Early in the day? It
Early
doesn't
in the
matter.
day. Okay.
Action surge.
All right.
That's a bit better.
Yes.
And let's take that one as a distracting strike.
Okay.
Oh, that shouldn't be 2 dice. That should be just 1.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, it shouldn't be a +4. It's just 8.
it's just 8, yeah.
And second longbow attack will be 21, and with that one we'll do a frighten.
The next attack roll, other than you, okay. All right. So that's 7 damage and a wisdom saving throw from that second strike. It is not frightened. But it is damaged.
It is the
Alright, and that'll be my turn.
All right, Elaris, we're just going to say runs up level with you, just so he's finally on the map as well. And he would probably take shots at that one. Does anybody have a sheet open?
I do not.
Yep, I've still got it open.
Okay.
So Alaris, he's within the range now, right?
Yo, he's
Oh,
always in
he's
range.
always in range.
Oh, yes, I remember.
I mean, like, range of the map.
Yes, he is on the edge of the map right there.
Okay. He's only used 1 spell slot. Cool, he's gonna point towards Shambling Mountain and cast Blight. Oh, 30 feet. Damn it, never mind.
Oh no!
Also, he has
That's a real
advantage-
shame.
He has advantage on the next attack he does.
Yep, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You
do
could-
a
bonus
sharpshooter.
Action, You could bonus action smite though. Prep a smite.
I could purpose
You have
smite.
advantage is the best time to do it.
Yeah, but Blight does max damage if I hit with it, so I'm gonna save that. So instead I'm gonna use the advantage to do a heavy sharpshooter shot.
You can still
Alright.
prep a smite though. It won't go off until you hit. You won't wait.
I
till
one
you
of the spell
finish.
slot.
Spell slot.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Warlock.
Never mind.
Oh, hold on, I'm getting a request.
However,
Yeah, Branding Smite. Okay.
of
Yes,
note, he does have a Black Pearl of Power. He can use an action and regain 1 expended Warlock spell slot, but it is an action. And
Okay, good to know. Then yeah, we'll do a normal shot with the Branding Smite.
Okay. 5
I assume
radiant.
that'll hit.
That'll hit.
Yep.
So 13
Question,
damage.
The
Yes.
damage goes up the higher level. He's casting at 4th level.
He is, yeah. He probably doesn't have that on a sheet. Oh no, it just rolled terribly.
Oh, it's just
1, 1, 1, and 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
bad.
no. Ooh.
And then we'll follow up in a very Alaris manner. Because there's only one of them left, and we're gonna do a sharpshooter shot.
Okay.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
one of the manner anyways.
Yep. It's a
Crossbow.
very Alaris manner, really. Alright.
And that'll be all.
With that, these two are off the map currently out of the fight. Calda is up next.
Talon can't take a longbow shot at it at all.
Mm. You know, he just might turn around and take a shot. Why not? Let's see. I think he can shift his hunter's mark. You mark a new creature.
Yep.
So yeah, he shifts his hunter's mark, and he's gonna go ahead and take a longbow. That'll hit. That'll be another 12. Turns and fires kind of over his shoulder and keeps running a little bit further into the underbrush, and you kind of lose sight of him after that. So, Calda's turn.
Alright, and with Calda, how rough is it looking so far?
It's not looking as good as it did at the start of the fight.
Okay.
It's not rough, but it's getting there.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to Vow of Enmity, and we're just going to see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that Vow of Enmity? There it is. And that'll be at advantage. And Heirloom Greatsword, because that thing is a fucking beast.
Okay.
So, see the first one. Come on, sheet. Get family now.
Alright, that'll hit. It does resist the fire,
Yep.
so
I'm
it
going
takes 2.
to throw a level 1 smite onto that too.
Okay.
2d8.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find.
Alright, 11 radiant damage.
Alright, and second attack.
That'll hit.
Ooh, also hit.
Yep.
And another smite just to drop that. Because I want to get this thing down.
Okay. 5. It is still up, but it's looking really bad right now as Calda slams the heirloom greatsword into it twice. The fire almost seems to scatter across it, but it still leaves little singe marks behind. The bulk of the damage is in the blade itself and the radiance that she channels down it with each strike. Alright,
and
she's
that'll be
wheeled
for Calda.
around. And Alsana.
Alsana, kind of sad that Cold probably isn't going to do the most against it, is still regardless going to throw a Ice Knife at second level. 24 to hit, 10 piercing.
That hits. 10 piercing. And
Save.
it's gonna make a DC 18 dexterity saving throw. Let's see this thing's dex save. Not great. Nope.
14. So it takes 14 out.
7 cold damage. It's looking really, really, really bad,
Start of
but
its
it's still
turn.
holding together.
No, it's not. Start of its turn.
Yep. All right. You know what? Roll the freaking repeat on the moonbeam. I don't think it has. It doesn't have a hope. It doesn't have a
27.
chance. How do you want to do that?
Just kind of like, she kind of like throws the knife into the moonlight and it just across it and the more glowing radiance, and just kind of like keeps holding the moonbeam down and just like looks at it very intensely until it just falls apart.
Okay. And it
She-
does so.
She just falls on her butt and onto her back and arms out.
All right. With that, everything goes still and quiet again. The moonbeam slowly fades away under the daylight. And after a few moments, you hear a rustle in the leaf and grass behind you, and you turn around to see Talon kind of creeping up and peering out.
And she'll run up and she'll just kind of go and hug him.
Wait, what are you doing? Ah! Get off of me! Get
It's
off of
good to
me!
see you too.
Oh, God! I don't do this! You know I don't do hugs! You know I don't do hugs!
I don't usually either, but you almost died and I did too, so I felt like it was appropriate. Who's your friend?
You gotta let me go?
Are you gonna tell me?
I'll tell you if you let me go.
Alright. She does.
Sighs, brushes off his shoulders and the front of his leather jacket, and puts his sword back away, and it's all grumpy for a
Is
while.
that a new black leather jacket I see?
Maybe.
Looks
Also, thanks. Also, I have no idea who she is.
then perhaps introductions are in order. And she kind of looks towards the Dryad. My name's
Dryad.
Alsana. This is Talon, my old edgy friend.
Oh, there's more of you.
Come up alongside, and she barely glances at you, Alsana. She seems to be looking past you very intently.
The party's right there, right?
Look
Mhm.
behind herself.
You see Calda? Is Ty here?
They are. Oh no.
You
Oh no.
Oh no!
says, I am Relia. I didn't expect to see you here, Mother of Rose. It's been a while. Tell me, how goes your search? Have you found a way to bring her back?
Oh, I thought it was the daughter.
Called us frozen.
Alsana looks
You-
back behind.
I'm sorry, you are Rose's mother, aren't you? You don't
She nods.
seem... Do you not remember me?
You're previously acquainted.
Yes, numerous times in the Feywild she has come and visited. She said she was going to find a way to return with Rose.
Excuse me?
Do you not... How do you not know?
Can Alsana make a quick Arcana check here?
You can.
Guides herself, maybe.
14. Well, you know vaguely of various magics that can mess with memory. You know of various magics that can mess with perception, appearance, illusions. You're not quite sure, though, what's actually going on there.
I look back and forth. So you know Calda, but Calda, you have no memory of this Dryad?
I haven't left Ambarian since she disappeared.
When was this
Feywild?
that you claim you've met?
You're asking Aurelia?
Yep.
It's... No, he's not too quiet for me, Conrad. He's turned up pretty well. He does sometimes, as Alsana, move away from the mic, I think.
Okay.
The Dryad looks and kind of makes a slightly helpless gesture with both hands spread. It's hard to say. I am a being of the Feywild. Time is different there. I don't really understand your measures of the passage of it.
We might know someone who does, and Alsana looks towards Talon.
Talon looks back. You don't mean me, right?
No.
Because I am so not the right person for this.
No. Our resident preferent on the Feywild. Where's the cap?
Okay.
Where are you all right now?
Just a few miles that way.
You're gonna
I
take
was-
us there.
Well, yeah, I mean, you came back for a visit anyway, right? And this is weird, and okay, yeah.
Renelia, yes?
Yes.
Would you be so kind as to accompany us? We can
Of-
perhaps understand this, misunderstanding that's going on?
Of course.
And if there's any weight to what you say, then there might be more things to consider. But here, let's save it. Who all is in your part of the camp right now?
Let's see. Dara, she's always there. Shield's there. Cillin's around always. Mavis, Cedric, Dalba, Ront. I'm pretty sure Nev is there. Oh, you're talking about Nev. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
just kind of like tilts her head like, there you go.
Yeah, they're around. At least as far as I knew yesterday when I started scouting out the area around, actually Shield might be still on his scout on the other side too.
Well, hopefully Dar and Brina can at least give some insight here.
Yeah. Follow me. I'll show you the way.
And as they're going, okay, and what about those things? When did they start showing up?
I mean, just now, really suddenly. In general, you always come across one sometimes. 3 at once, little weird. I'm gonna.
Is there a recent lightning storm or something?
I mean, there might have been one in the last week, but as recent as like last night, no.
Well, that might have been something there. I don't know. Be on the lookout for any more. I don't think, no offense, but I don't think you're in this position to have been okay, even if there was only one of them in that encounter.
Yeah, don't tell me how to do my job.
I'm not. I'm worried for you.
Don't be worried for me. I'm not a baby.
No, but you're still adorable.
How did call me adorable? He just jerks the hood up over his head, hunches his shoulders, and stalks towards the front of the group.
So, Sis, you gonna introduce us to these people, or
By the way, that's Talon.
just your resident stray you picked up off the forest side?
Let's go with that. Like I said, it's going to just be much easier if I explain it all at once everyone's here. I'm not going to give you half of one and then introduce the people and then do it again once I have to introduce you to them. Just
I mean, depending how long a walk we have, you might have the time, but make your choice. And maybe this time try to stay a bit closer to us.
I'd rather put some brain power towards it, and quite frankly, I don't know if they'd still be breathing if I didn't go there as quick as I did. I'm fine.
Oh.
No one died.
I feel like there are other measures of success, but that's right with me.
I kept the moonbeam off of you. How about that? She starts walking.
Alright. Nice to meet you, Talon. And, sorry, I never caught your name there, Fey Lady.
Ruelia.
Really, nice to meet you.
She glances back towards Calda. Did you do something different with your hair? I don't think I've ever seen you with it flowing free like that. Not completely.
Although you don't have a long-lost twin we don't know about, do you?
Not that I know of.
What is a twin?
It's one who was born at the same time of you and shares many physical similarities. Easily mistakable. You're not from Material, are you?
No, I stumbled here by accident.
Seems that's happening more and more.
Yes, I'd like to get home. I've been trying to return, but...
I might have a friend who can send you that way, but I think we have some conversations to have first.
I would appreciate that.
In the meantime, let's start walking and make sure Calda has a chance to process first.
Yeah, you have been walking this little bit, following behind Talon. He winds his way through the forest. It takes probably an hour or so, but eventually you approach the site of a more sizable forest clearing or glade. There are a number of tents erected, well made, well maintained. A few different fire pits scattered amongst them for spreading warmth and and cooking for the entire group. As you approach, you are kind of hailed by um, a a fairly young-looking half-orc. He looks like he might be about the same age as Talon, but given what you know about half-orc aging, he's probably in numerical years a bit younger than Talon is. He's dressed in basic browns, grays, woven cloth, and a couple of animal skins for warmth or for protection.
Help me with a
You
name here.
You recognize him as Ront.
Right. Okay. She gives a wave.
He's a very recent addition to the group, at least as far as you recall.
She might lean over to Talon. It's like, that's Ron, right?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't here very long since he joined, and just hello. We're here for a visit.
Is that you?
Oh, you do remember me.
Vaguely.
Feelings
Weren't
mutual.
Weren't you Dalba's like potion-y apprentice?
I did. Well, I mean, I tried to vary out, but I suppose.
Sorry, I'm not really familiar with everybody, and especially you. You left pretty soon.
I understand. Okay, where's
Hey.
where's Dara?
Should be the big tent in the center. Talon, what the hell happened to you?
Shambling mounds, three of them.
I'm fine. Gotta go report to Dalba anyway.
If you need some
Could've
patching up,
taken
just come by me, okay, buddy? And she gives
I
a pat on the
could've-
shoulder.
Totally taken him.
No, seriously, I'll clean your wounds later. I just need to talk right now.
He leads you towards the largest tent in the center, and it's largest only by a very small margin. There's a couple others that pretty much match it in size. It's otherwise very similar in appearance to all the rest, just leather, animal skins, some cloth that's treated with various various oily substances extracted from plants to help shed the rain. Sitting outside of it, you see a wood elf with... Actually, there are some... she's got chestnut brown hair, but there are some actual pale streaks running through it. Her face is relatively smooth, but there are tiny wrinkles at the corners of her eyes and the sides of her mouth that speak of great age, or advancing age at least, even for one of her kind, and probably also of relatively rough living during those years. And she looks up from the small pot of a porridge-like substance that she seems to be slow cooking over the fire for the next meal.
Also leans in the tent. What's my favorite ancient artifact?
So, the prodigal one returns. She taps the spoon against the pot, cling cling, sets it to rest. Well, come on. What trouble have you gotten into now?
Well, honestly, it's quite recently since I returned to your forest, so I see it as your fault.
And your attempts to shift blame notwithstanding, what have you gotten into?
There's a number of things. First of all, did you get my letter?
Yes, a strange house, you said.
It's dead,
Ghost.
don't worry.
Hmm.
It
Just
was
as well?
physically living, had a link to the ethereal. Very large mimic. Very large.
Unusual. We will be keeping an eye out if you can just tell us exactly where and perhaps at some point show us the way.
No, we dealt with it. And she pulls out the vial
But-
of goo.
If there are others, even smaller ones, best to scout out the area and be sure.
Good point.
It may be a little outside our usual jurisdiction, but this forest is under our protection in general as well.
Considering the fact it was holding the souls of the dead there, maybe it's more in our area than you'd think.
Very much so.
But
Well,
the more relevant matter at the time, and she kind of like, okay, all others can come in now. And
you
she
see the eyebrows start to raise, and it's a familiar eyebrow as people file in. My goodness, what a group you have gathered. Introductions?
the ramshackle ones are the ones I've been traveling with. Lost Tundrafis, called a friend, Kane.
Just Kane.
For now.
She doesn't like admitting my last name.
I don't know which. Whatever. These ones aren't the main concern. Maybe Calda. However, this one here, and she pulls in the dryad.
Ruelia looks a little uncomfortable being in an interior space, even one as surrounded and made from nature as this. She kind of shifts from foot to foot slightly and fidgets.
Don't worry,
Gives
dear.
a nod.
It's okay.
I'm aware.
Raleigh here is a bit of a wanderer. Not from the Feywild.
I suppose we could speak with Navarion. I'm sure he will have some way of figuring out a path back.
But there's a manor we'd like to attend to while she is still with us.
Oh?
My friend Calda here has... If she'll kind of like look towards Calda. Well, would you like to explain it, or should I?
I think she's still
Okay.
reeling just a bit.
And then
Give her
She
some
just found a recent discovery. It's been stressful.
She's been under the impression of a long-time lost family member. And as well, she's, until traveling with us, stayed within her hometown for a long period of time. But our dryad friend here claims to know her. Claims to have information about, or seeking information, or something about that lost family member. What was your exact phrasing, dear? Bringing her back?
Ruelia nods. The little one, has been with us for I don't know how long, some time. Calda came and found her with us, but said she couldn't bring her back. Something wouldn't allow her, and she had to find an alternate path.
And she has no memory of this.
You see Dara lean forward. It has been said that mortal visitors to the Feywild sometimes see their memories of that place fade. Some unfortunate few even lack memory altogether.
That's what I was thinking. Oh. And she looks like she's like, oh, of course, how could I forget? Rolled a 10 on Arcana, that's how I could forget. And she just nod.
Aurelia looks between them. Is it possible for a mortal to visit and leave, visit and leave, and visit and leave, and seem to remember every time, but to forget completely on the last? Dara kind of nods her head back and forth. It's hard to say. Not many go back and forth so easily or so frequently without some measure of protection. But it is, in theory, possible.
Well, there's also,
just by fortune's sake.
there's also, I'm not sure if it's related much, but in the service of a vow of a paladin. Divine magic to her.
I cannot say whether that would have any bearing. I know too little about this object. And it is not as though it has been frequently tested. Shield is our only one of a paladin's oath, and he's never really attempted such passage before. So, what would you do in this, knowing this? I cannot advise you any further than I have, I believe. I have no further knowledge to give.
I believe that would be something we'd have to think on.
Well, until such a time as you have thought it out, you are welcome to stay with us. Of course, we are going to be doing sweeps of the area, especially given this news of a house.
As it should, as it would be a good idea, and we'd be happy to help in the time we're here.
Talon pokes his head in. Also, there were 3 mounds,
Oh, right, that too.
about a couple miles away, I think. Not great. Pulls his head back.
We saved his hindquarters.
Did not! And you hear a rustle and footsteps as he very clearly has gone to stalk off somewhere else.
Don't go too far, I still need to stitch you up. But, there's one more matter, and I'm sorry to come here just requesting. But it's things that are a bit time sensitive. I wish I could have been here on, more relaxed terms, but I suppose fates have different thoughts in mind for me. The reason we originally came here, as much as I would have liked to visit, we've been recently tasked by the people at Threshold. The Order of the Threshold. Are you aware of them?
Vaguely familiar. They do keep to themselves and out of the forest for the most part, but I am not ignorant of all that goes on beyond these wooded hills.
I would hope not. Just if you'd had any contact with them before.
Not directly.
We've been tasked, supposedly, as certain individuals who fate seems to hold in rather high regard.
Is that so?
Don't chuckle too hard. We've been scouring the country, searching for, in a word, shrines. Nexus of magical power. Magical power that can be harvested. At this time of year, in this century, decade, millennium. At the turning of the moon every month. I've made some leaps and bounds in magic because of it. But,
Indeed.
oh, you can tell just from me walking in.
So, you are searching for places of power. It is a very vague and broad statement.
They are rather vague and broad in themselves. Usually points of collection of magic or his general influence of things. We had come across a grove of a unicorn over in Soren.
A blessed encounter.
Unfortunately, not as much as you would think. The unicorn found itself corrupted by influence from the Shadowfell and a Gulfius tree. And she kind of like moves the side of her cloak to the side, and the horn hangs at her hip.
You see Dara give you a sharp look. You are aware of the curse that comes of slaying a unicorn.
already did.
In that case, I suppose.
It did. I had talked with its spirit and instructed for me to take it and cleanse the area. I did so, and I've left a She kind of like has this like slight odd look on her face and just left a protege in the area.
Leaps and bounds indeed, if you have the patience to teach another.
She had some talent to start, but we're getting off track.
Places of power. Well, sadly, I can say there are no such unicorn groves or guardians in this forest, as you would know.
She nods.
The best that I can think is any place where a portal might be found, any place where nature is strong. Do you remember Meriharinar?
Does she?
You do. You know that it's a holiday on the calendar. It's
Oh,
a
that one,
holiday
yes.
that you have very special knowledge of,
Okay, that one.
given your background.
Yep.
You
And
know
she-
that it's held in certain locations in the forest.
Distinctly, yes. Is that soon? She kind of like looks for a second, like pulls out a little mini calendar, and it's like, is that?
No,
She didn't.
but I would say that if you were looking for a place of distinction, I would investigate the oldest parts of the forest first.
She nods.
The location where that is held would qualify as one.
Make a lot of sense. Ah, it's been too long. I miss that ancient wisdom.
Well,
Thank
the
you.
youth do need it to guide their steps at times,
Mm.
lacking it themselves. Now, speaking of ancient wisdom, I would go and speak with Navarion. He is within the camp.
On the side. No trips recently.
None recently.
That'll be helpful. Thank you so much. We can do some proper catching up once we find ourselves with more time.
You are welcome at any time, Alsana. And your companions. Provided they show the forest its proper respect.
Oh, I'll make sure of that.
And she nods, takes up her spoon, and goes back to stirring and making sure that the next meal doesn't burn at the bottom.
She just kind of like leans over. It's like, okay, but real quick, what are you making?
Just a simple little porridge. It does have some nuts in it.
She kind of like leans over, sticks a finger in, and runs off.
My god, she's almost childlike around here.
She usually is. Not our youngest, but to one that's seen so many years as I, that would be everybody. Your last name? That she was so reluctant to share?
Harmon.
Well, I cannot see the harm in it, and I did not intend that, but it happened anyway.
I'm gonna choose not to believe you there. I think she doesn't want to say it. It's because I go by a different first name. Me and her are half siblings,
Ah,
and she does not like being reminded of the fact.
a shame.
I understand her reasons. Nice to meet you, though. I take it you're the one who took care of her when she was on her own.
Only one of many. But
That
yes,
is your. Oh,
I
go
did
ahead.
teach her. I did teach her some of what she knows.
Oh, so you're the source. Thank you for
Again,
that.
not the only one.
Oh, that's
But
all right.
you are welcome.
Yeah, I think she needed a few helpful guiding figures in her life. Glad she was able to find some here.
She
So,
kind of leans in. It's like,
thank
are
all
we
of you.
going with? Oh God, you're talking.
Yes, it does happen every once in a while. Just let me speak for a while, sister.
Mm,
Yes, yes, be moody somewhere else, please.
Remarkably alike young Talon, isn't she?
Oh, not that he'll ever be happy to hear that, but I understand the desire not to want to be related to her.
Neither would be pleased.
Lars Calder, let's be going, shall we?
See, now she does her typical avoidance strategy where she tries to get me out of a situation by forcing. Alright, sister, let's go.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
I'm sure we'll speak again.
Dara nods. Outside the tent, you bump into a half elf. Looks to be about 17 or so. Alsana, you recognize this as Sillin. He's carrying a small armful of broken branches, recognizable firewood. Um,
Oh,
oh, hi.
you've gotten taller.
Yeah, yeah, hit my growth spurt.
Hmm.
Yep. Where have you been?
Is he taller than Alsana?
Let's see. I didn't actually decide a height. Um, so let's go with he is plus he's about 5'7". Kind of averagey, middling.
I put Alsana around like 5'8", 5'9".
So you still have an inch or two on him.
She just leans over a bit and it's like, not quite enough of a spread, unfortunately.
I'll catch up someday.
I'm sure you will. No, I've been out and about in a number of things, and I've brought friends, and she kind of points to the posse behind her.
Hello. Anyway, I gotta go take this in there.
We'll talk later. I have
Yep.
pressing matters right now.
If you see Shield, let him know I'm gonna be by for more sword practice later. I just gotta do my chores first.
Oh, is that new?
Not really. I mean, a little bit. I mean, the actual practices, yeah.
She kind of like gives a nod. It's like, huh, I might have to watch in, maybe. I'll be sure to let them know. Have you seen him?
Great.
Any particular area he's been about?
I think he's on patrol right now.
Alright, I'll see him when I see him then.
You might see him before I do. I've been keeping pretty busy.
Alright. She gives a wave and heads off.
Cylin, I hear you out there. Stop dawdling. I need the firewood. Coming, Grandma! Through the tent flaps.
Alright. Asana will go try to find, I had the name and then I lost it. I'm scrolling through chat logs right now.
Navarion.
Navari, I know. I was thinking like Navira, but that wasn't right. She will go try to find Navarion.
Alright.
Do we want to keep going with this, or because this is
I'll
probably
say
going to
that
be very
yep,
specific to Calder?
just as you find, we'll go ahead and call it, right as you find Navarion, just at the edge of the camp, and you come upon a very tall, slim figure who doesn't look dissimilar in many ways to the Dryad at your side. The pale green skin, the yellowish, leafy, almost leafy hair. But he is noticeably more elven.
Fairy
He
boy.
turns, looks. Ah, there you are. I wondered when you would be by.
Someone told you I was coming?
The storm clouds always announce their presence before they arrive. I heard the rumbles. So, I'm told by a certain young hunter that you have questions for me.
We also have
Come
a
in.
friend, and she kind of like presents the dryad beside her.
Long way from home. As are we both. Come, sit down, and let us talk. And that is where we're gonna go ahead and call it for today, so everybody can get some sleep.
Hmm.
All right.
Just want to make sure we weren't going too far with just 2 people.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah. We're good until next week.
Mm-hmm.
So think of everything you need to ask this guy,
Oh,
cause
boy.
yep,
Do you want to do XP or?
yes, we will do XP once the recording's done.
Yep, we'll end it off. Any other last minute things? Or... Nope, okay. Till next time.